I can't believe I'm making this video. I didn't write a script this time because I wasn't planning on making this video. And then I caught Skip Bayless and Keyshawn Johnson talking on Undisputed about the passing of OJ Simpson, about the life of OJ Simpson. And I could not even believe the praise that we were giving to a man who did what we all know what he did. Check out this clip.
OJ Simpson has passed at age 76. He obviously was a huge star.
Thoughts and prayers obviously go to his family and kids and things of that nature. Just some of his accolades, obviously he's a Hall of Famer. He was the most valuable player, a 5-time Pro Bowler, 5-time first-team All-Pro. Post-career, went on to television in some movies and things of that nature.
Yeah.
The other issues seeped in. I mean, you can't obviously have a conversation about OJ Simpson in his football career without bringing up some of the misfortunate steps that came along with him post-career. You look at it for now and you say, man, life is short. Life is short. That's what I can say.
I had the luxury of seeing him play a lot, and I had the luxury of getting to know him a lot. Obviously, we all aware of what he was involved in off the field. It's too horrifying for me to even run back through the literally gory details of what happened. I do want to honor him as a football player and as charismatic an athlete as I ever knew. You can make a case he was the greatest running back ever. He was the greatest running back ever. He was the greatest running back ever.
There are some things that you can do in life that negate all of the good you might have done before that. There are crimes bad enough. You look at someone's life and you go, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they did before. I don't care anymore. Don't care anymore. When I cut up that segment to show you guys, I gave you a little taste of what the conversation was leading into. It went on to go talk about how great of a running back OJ Simpson was. Okay, that's undeniable. He was a great running back. He was a Hall of Fame running back. An amazing running back for USC, an amazing running back for the Buffalo Bills. This is all before my time, but I've seen video clips. I've seen highlights. I've seen the record books. Okay, he had a great career. We know that. Okay, cool. What he did in 1994, I think it was June of 1994, negates all of that. None of that matters anymore. I don't care how good of an athlete you were. I don't care what you've done. I don't care about any of the community service he might have done prior to that. I don't care about all the nice things he's done. At the end of the day, there are 2 less human beings on planet Earth because of OJ Simpson. When I watched this Undisputed clip, they gloss over the fact that he killed 2 people.
The other issues seeped in, misfortunate steps that came along.
Obviously, we all aware of what he was involved in off the field.
They kind of allude to it. And I get that because he was acquitted on the murder charge, you feel some legal obligation where maybe you're a little nervous about getting sued for defamation. Maybe you're a little worried about that type of thing. Except for, I think you're safe only because he was found guilty by a civil court, which is, it's a much lower standard of proof. He was found responsible for the deaths of Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman. He was found responsible for the death of his ex-wife. It was a $33 million penalty that was imposed upon him. Allegedly, he had to sell some of his memorabilia in order to try and make payments. When I got to the comment section of this video, I was thinking people are going to tear into Skip Bayless. They're going to tear into Keyshawn Johnson because this is ridiculous how nice we're being about a 2-time murderer. Here's the comment section. Both Keyshawn and Skip talk about OJ with class. They brought up his negative past without using derogatory words. Much respect to Undisputed. Only man to rush for 2,000 yards in a 14-game season. Oh, don't worry, I got more. People don't understand how much of a superstar OJ was during his time. The greatest running back of all time. His 2,003 yards in 14 games will never be broken. Hashtag juice. He was a great football player. Rest in peace, OJ. The man was one of the best running backs of all time. Can't take that away from him. Rest in peace, Juice. One of the best players ever. Godspeed, OJ. Juice, you can rest now. Rest in peace, OJ Simpson. Number 32. Don't worry, there's more. Rest in peace to OJ. I remember going to a mostly white school in the 90s, and when they read the verdict as not guilty, them folks lost their minds. Racial tension was real. Laughing face, laughing face, laughing face. As a fan of Juice back in the day, it's so sad that his accomplishments are so overshadowed. Thanks for thoughtful remarks, Skip. The Juice is officially loose. Let him without sin cast the first stone. Rest in peace, Juice. Number 32. A lot of people still love OJ. Rest in peace. Correct. OJ was acquitted, Please stop talking about something he was acquitted on. The man died of cancer, damn. Have that much respect. To me, in his last days or years, he was on It Is What It Is, and he was a cool dude. I felt the old OJ on screen, and it was awesome. To me, the greatest running back of all time. Look at the team, the numbers, the highlights. Go, OJ, go. God bless you. Comment sections like this make me so sad. Makes me so angry. And I have to remind myself that, like, the internet is available to everybody, which means that it is a place where all of the smart people and all of the idiots can all come together. And idiots will find each other, and idiots will comment idiotic things, and then they'll like each other's comments, and they'll continue saying idiotic things to each other. Both Keyshawn and Skip talk about OJ with class. They brought up his negative pass without derogatory words. Much respect to Undisputed. And it's got 84 likes. And I think to myself, like, how the and I'm sure it has more likes now, because, I pulled that an hour or two ago. But, like, 84 likes, that sounds like a lot. And then I have to remind myself, this is the World Wide Web, and it's mostly Americans. Siri, what is the population of the United States?
In 2021, the population of the United States was 332,278,200.
So of 332 million people in this country, 18 likes, 78 likes, 80 likes, whatever, that's not that many. So, like, I do have to remind myself that this is not how most of the population feels. And as I'm scrolling through these comments, thinking these people are morons, but not commenting, not disliking, not doing anything, just scrolling through, I have to think to myself, oh yeah, there's probably a lot of other people that are reading this, seeing the same thing I'm seeing, being just as annoyed. My point here is that just because you read an angry, negative comment section, don't let that bring you down and think that that's representative of, like, the entire population, because it's not. Every single one of us with an ounce of common sense knows that OJ Simpson killed those two people. We know it. It's not really up for debate. And just so you know, if you go out in public and you tell people, nah, I don't think he did it, that person automatically thinks you're an idiot. The moment you say, I don't think that OJ Simpson killed those people, the person you are talking to thinks you are stupid, just so you know. Like, they'll be polite and they won't say it. They'll be like, oh, that's an interesting point. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. They'll say stuff like that. They think that you are a moron, just to be very clear. But going back to the clip here, Keyshawn goes, well, life is short. No, Key, OJ's life was long. OJ lived to be 76 years old. Nicole Brown died when she was 35 years old. Ron Goldman was 25. Those lives were short. OJ's life was long. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't wish death for people. I just don't. That's not really in my nature. But I'm not going to feel sympathy or tears or sadness or anything like that for a two-time murderer that got away with it. Even if he didn't get away with it, even if we would have found him guilty, then I still wouldn't feel like sympathy for it, And here's the thing about this segment. Like, I get that these sports shows, and really a lot of shows in general, when somebody of notoriety passes away, when somebody dies, they report on it. As they should. That's just responsible journalism. You have to report on it. You can't just ignore the fact that OJ died. But if you're going to report on it, you gotta tell the full story. And this segment of Undisputed, these clowns are just glossing over the fact that OJ killed two people. They're like, well, he had off the field issues. Well, he did what we know he did. But then you're going into specific details about his rushing yards totals. You're going into specific details about his Hall of Fame status. You're gonna go into specific details about where he went to school. As far as the Nicole Brown thing goes, I'm not saying that you got to remind people that OJ Simpson stabbed her with a knife and then stabbed Ron Goldman with a knife. And I don't know which order it happened in, but stabbed both of them with a knife. I'm not saying that you got to get that specific about it. I'm not saying that you got to remind people that he then callously ran from the scene, tossed the gloves, got into his car, drove away as if nothing happened. I'm not saying you got to remind people of that. I'm not saying you got to say that, even if that is what happened. Come at me for defamation, whatever. He was found guilty in a civil court. It's just ridiculous. I read a Pro Football Talk article this morning about it, and it was written by Mike Florio. And I know that I've made a video in the past where I criticized Florio a little bit for the way that he comes about getting his sources for information and stuff. I was a fan of the way that Florio wrote this article. It's very matter of fact, but he told the full story. He did talk about OJ Simpson as a running back. He did talk about the records he set back in the day. He did talk about all those things. And he also was very specific about OJ Simpson's criminal life afterwards. That's the way you tell that story. And that's honestly how Undisputed should have told that story. If you weren't willing to get into the weeds on it, and if you weren't willing to tell the full story and really talk about the fact that, yes, he was also involved in an alleged murder of 2 people. And even if you need to throw the word alleged in there so you don't get sued for defamation, he was the suspect of investigation for that. There's no denying that. That's not really up for debate. If Undisputed wasn't willing to report on this the way that they should have reported on it, you know what they should have done? Coming out of break, you just give the facts. Welcome back to Undisputed. We have breaking news. Former Buffalo Bills running back OJ Simpson has died of cancer. OJ Simpson was a running back for the USC Trojans and then was drafted by the Buffalo Bills. He ended his career with the San Francisco 49ers. OJ Simpson went on to a broadcasting career and an acting career before being accused of murder in 1994. The incident involved a stabbing of his ex-wife Nicole Brown and her friend Ron Goldman. Simpson was acquitted of the murder charges. He was later found guilty in civil court in order to pay the families of the victims $33 million. In 2007, Simpson was found guilty of armed robbery and sentenced to 33 years in prison. He served 9 and got out on early parole in 2017. Simpson's parole fully ended in 2021. Simpson was 76. In other news, the Dallas Cowboys still haven't given Dak Prescott a contract. Keyshawn, what are your thoughts on that? Thanks for watching Mike Adams Football. If you want to keep up to date on college football and NFL, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and turn on those notifications too. I promise I have no intentions of ever talking about OJ Simpson on this channel ever again.
I do want to honor him as a football player and as charismatic an athlete as I ever knew.